So, good evening, everyone. I'm Lorianne Richardson, President and CEO of the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Before we begin, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce Student Ambassador Ava Chen of Mills High School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you, Ava. So Ava is one of two students selected for the Chamber Student Ambassador Scholarship Program. It gives high school students the opportunity to learn about Millbrae's business community while participating in Chamber of Commerce events. Chamber Student Ambassadors also receive a cash scholarship award, and our other student ambassador, Caitlin Hu of Mills High School, is away on vacation with her family tonight. The tradition of having an annual State of the City address in Millbrae began in 1998 in conjunction with the city's 50th anniversary celebration. The Chamber has been honored to continue hosting this event ever since for each Millbrae mayor. So this is the 19th annual State of the City. For those of us lucky enough to live or work in Millbrae, we enjoy a city with qualities envied by other communities, like an ideal location, top-rated schools, a very strong housing market, and sunshine. But what makes Millbrae the most special is the strong sense of community we share and the small-town feel that we retain. The city's representatives, its staff, and its tireless citizen volunteers dedicate themselves to keeping Millbrae the kind of place that we all love to call home. And we have some city council members here tonight. The Honorable Ruben Holabird, Mayor of Millbrae. The Honorable Gina Pappin, Vice Mayor and former Mayor of Millbrae. It's in the back there. Honorable Wayne Lee, former Mayor of Millbrae. And we're also honored to have the following representatives here this evening. Oh, and I'm sorry, and Annie did come, and we have former Mayor, the Honorable Ann Oliva, right in the back there. We have the Honorable Dave Pine, San Mateo County Board of Supervisors with us. The Honorable Richard Holober, San Mateo County Community College Board District with us. Mark Nagalis, Constituent Services Director, Congresswoman Jackie Spears' office. Jeffrey Liu, Field Representative for the Office of Senator Jerry Hill. Kevin Fong, District Representative, the Office of Assembly Member Kevin Mullen. We're also pleased to have the Honorable Marge Colapietro, former Mayor of Millbrae. The Honorable Robert Gottschalk, former Mayor of Millbrae and current Rotary Club President. I don't know if Robert's here right now. He did RSVP. And we have the Honorable Dan Quigg, former Mayor of Millbrae. We have our City Planning Commissioners, Catherine Quigg and Maureen Davis. Former City Treasurer, Mary Vella Tressler. The Honorary Consul General of Malta in San Francisco, Mr. Louis J. Vella. And do we have our police or fire chief with us? Yay! Thank you. So those are the dignitaries who RSVP'd, but if you see someone else that I did not acknowledge, please point or raise your hand. Yes, Marge. Thank you so much. And we have our Deputy City Manager, whom I actually spoke with earlier, so no excuse, Mark Raffelli. Mark. I want to thank tonight's generous event sponsors. We have the Honorary Consul General of Malta, San Francisco, Mr. Louis Vella. The Magnolia of Millbrae. South San Francisco Scavenger Company, Scavenger President Doug Button is here tonight. Starbucks of Millbrae Square and Trader Joe's of Millbrae Square. Millbrae's Chamber of Commerce was established 68 years ago after Millbrae Incorporated. Since 1949, the Chamber has represented businesses both large and small. Our members include many of the mom and pops that make up most of Millbrae's business district. Through active promotion of the community and the business sector, and by sponsoring popular community events, the Chamber helps ensure that Millbrae's economy and its sense of community remain strong. And now, a little about our keynote speaker. Ruben Holabird was elected to the Millbrae City Council in 2013, serving as vice mayor in 2016 before becoming mayor this year. Mayor Holober keeps very busy on council, serving on a number of committees, commissions, and boards, including Caltrain, Local Policymakers Group, Mayor's Civic Coordinating Council, San Mateo Council of Cities, San Mateo County Library JPA, the Council's Budget and Finance Subcommittee, Millbrae Community Center Subcommittee, the Council's Technology Subcommittee. And Mayor Holober also served as liaison to Millbrae Sister Cities Commission, Commute.org, Parks and Recreation Commission, the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and MCTV's Board of Directors. Reuben grew up in Millbrae. He attended Millbrae Public Schools, including Mills High School. Reuben graduated from the University of Washington and earned his master's degree in public policy from UC Berkeley. He has worked for Peninsula biotech firms, Crescendo and Natera, and he once interned for Congressman Tom Lantos. I enjoyed having Reuben as our Chamber of Commerce liaison, and we're very proud of him for the terrific job he's doing on council and as mayor. So please help me welcome the Honorable Ruben Holabird, Mayor of Millbrae.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to serve as your mayor and giving me the opportunity to give this year's State of the City address. I want to thank Lorianne and the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce for hosting this annual event that gives our city's mayor the opportunity to set the vision for the future of our community. Millbrae is a city filled with passionate residents and a passionate business community. Often, we see that passion and the care for the community come out in public dialogue, online and off. I want to begin this year's State of the City by expressing my appreciation for those who speak up and share their thoughts and concerns with myself, the other council members, and our city staff. Your thoughts and opinions inspire needed conversations and help us to better understand the community's desires and needs. But along with this, I make a request to everyone who lives and works in our city. Be respectful, be sincere, be a positive force of change, and be a good neighbor. I make this request because during public dialogue between community members, tempers rise and words have hurt. Words are powerful, and when not used well, can and do hurt our community. This doesn't mean we can't be candid or that our words cannot be sincere. It means that we cannot let anger and fear drive our decisions. Courtesy and respect are at the core of what makes our system successful. I'm happy to report that Millbrae is a thriving and prosperous city. Over the past 8 years, like most cities across the nation, Millbrae was challenged with the recession and economic recovery. Today, our city is in strong financial position with more than $2 million in excess funds in our general fund reserve this year. While this is a major milestone, we must not take it for granted. This excess fund balance was achieved in large through smart spending on services our city uses. While there has been much contention around the use of contractors and the move of our police and fire services to larger agencies, smart moves like this to reduce our operating costs have strengthened our city. This kind of strategic thinking and foresight must not stop. We cannot let our prosperity be taken for granted. Last month, we set out public notices asking for your support in raising water rates to pay for wholesale water rate increases and needed infrastructure replacements. Since 2013, the SFPUC has increased the city's wholesale water rates by 67%. Because these rates have not been passed on to our residents, funding reserves that pay for the system's operations, upgrades, and repairs have been depleted and are forecast to run out by 2019. If passed, this increase will pay for our water and provide enough funding to pay for necessary system replacements and maintenance. An average residential account would see an increase of about $20 per bill. Rates would then gradually increase over the next 5 years. This is one example of funding that is critical to our city's future. We know that this is a bitter pill, and we take no pleasure in increasing rates. But we desperately need the community's support to move forward. The point is, while we do have excess money, we also have mounting challenges that are going to cost tens of millions of dollars each year to address. Problems that until now have been passed on because they were hard decisions to make. Right now, we not only have to address the burdens of our aging infrastructure, we must plan for our future to ensure Millbrae continues to be a great community to live, work, and play in. These are not burdens we take on with fear or anger. Just as we have made smart improvements to be an efficient city, we will continue to make smart investments that attract others to make similar investments in our city. This past year, we have worked extensively with Caltrans to make repairs and upgrades to some of our major streets, especially El Camino Real. Through the Caltrans partnership, we are working to make the El Camino Real more walkable and friendly to pedestrians. In the coming year, we will be installing 5 hybrid crosswalk systems to better alert vehicles to pedestrians crossing. Our future plans for the El Camino also include widening sidewalks and medians, making crosswalks wider and using median refuges to create shorter crossing distances, putting in green spaces, seating, and better lighting. In addition to El Camino Real, we're working with Caltrans to improve Millbrae Avenue and Magnolia. Last year, we approved $1.5 million in funding for street reconstruction and resurfacing projects. $445,000 of that came from Caltrans through the One Bay Area grant. The work is already underway. Recently, sidewalk improvements were completed along Magnolia. This work was important to make Magnolia more accessible to pedestrians and leads the way in replacing old and broken asphalt on the street. As we know, the city is largely built out. Our opportunities for new, large-scale commercial developments are relatively limited. Because of the absence of large, empty sites, the city must focus its efforts on rehabilitating older properties. This year, we saw the opening of living spaces at the former Kohl's store on Broadway. While some brick-and-mortar retailers are struggling, Living Spaces has succeeded by creating an immersive environment that gives shoppers an opportunity and experience they cannot get online. Experiences like these are the key to success for retailers in the new economy. As a city, we must continually think about what we are doing to support our local businesses. Not just in terms of roads and water pipes, although those are important. The new opportunities for cities are going to be how well they help create place-based and experience-based business centers. Over the past 7 months, we have invested heavily in making our downtown corridor a welcoming and beautiful place to shop and hang out in. Streetscape improvements like pocket parks with trees and seating, well-lit streets, clean sidewalks, and bike racks. We are currently working with the county to install free downtown Wi-Fi, and we're exploring fiber optic networks to help attract and retain businesses. Along Broadway, these types of improvements have helped make it a place people want to visit and spend time in. Just as we see with the Chamber's Art and Wine Festival, the longer people hang out, the more money they spend. But not all proposals that come our way are necessarily good for our community. We saw with the ice rink proposal, it was just not right. The ice rink proposal had been largely pushed upon us by an outside special interest group. It seemed like a nice idea, but we did our due diligence in vetting the project. We had Steph develop a business plan and realized that the numbers didn't add up. More than that, I want to thank all the people who came out to the city council meetings and sent emails to my colleagues and myself expressing your thoughts on this issue. We heard from hundreds of people, and it was your voices that ultimately guided the decision not to move forward with this project. We are making great progress on our downtown corridor, but there is another opportunity that needs our attention: Millbrae Station. Once complete, Millbrae Station and its transit-oriented development area will stand as one of the nation's busiest transportation-oriented communities. It will provide more than 1.6 million square feet of office space, 275,000 square feet of retail space, and 1,750 units for people to call home. It's expected that, in total, the Millbrae Station area will provide homes for more than 4,600 people and create well over 7,000 new jobs. The Millbrae Station area specific plan and EIR are complete. Now we must make this plan a reality. Last month, the Millbrae Planning Commission reviewed site development plans for 3 buildings on properties within the station-oriented development area. The first building plan contains 119 apartments and 4,255 square feet of ground floor retail space. The second building plan contains 325 apartments. And the third building contains 8,960 square feet of ground level retail and 290,000 square feet of office space. While still in the planning stages, these projects and others like them are coming down the line for review and approval. I'm not afraid of progress, and neither are my colleagues. But we must be thoughtful in how we promote and push these projects along, and ensure that developers honor their commitments to affordable housing. My commitment to you is that I will be a smart advocate for projects that will uplift and strengthen our economy and community. More than a place I was raised, Millbrae is my home because of the many things that make it great. The Millbrae Community Center was, and will once again be, an example of something that makes America great. I remember taking karate classes there and attending scout meetings there as a kid. And over the years, I've been to countless events there in the community center. When it burned down, we were all torn. Not just in terms of the loss, but also in terms of what it would become. To make a place that is truly yours, I ask for all of you to take part in the workshops we'll be hosting over the next few months. We hosted our first workshop last month to better understand what people loved about the old community center and to understand what they wanted in the future community center. From that first workshop, we listened to people talk about their desire for a new community center that helps people live healthier and active lives. Many people spoke about the need to create spaces for formal and informal events, to create a space that better connects with Central Park and can be used for large-scale special events that seamlessly use both sites. At the same time, people reminisced about going to birthday parties and luncheons at the center. What we heard was that people wanted a place to gather and spend quality time with their friends, families, and neighbors. Developing the new Millbrae Community Center is just one of the City Council's top priorities. Last month, we finished demolishing the community center and have since cleaned the site. We are in the last stages of working with our insurance provider to agree upon a final settlement. We will let the community know once that number is official. While it will be a fair settlement, we do expect to spend more than we anticipate getting to build the new community center. I don't know where that extra funding will come from, either in the form of a public bond, a loan, grants, or from the general fund. But we want to make sure that the new community center is built right. We have a blank slate to build what we want now. We also need to build a modern facility that will be usable 20, 30, 40 years from now. Again, if you have the opportunity, attend one of our upcoming workshops or fill out the online survey. Let us know what you want and need. Now is the time, and we only have one chance to do this right. The community center isn't the only gathering place we are investing in. In addition to Central Park, Millbrae has 10 other parks and trails that we manage. Currently, we are developing a parks master plan to help us find ways to make the parks more accessible and usable. Part of that process is identifying your needs and our opportunities. Our goal in developing the master plan is to help us better understand the state of our parks, their costs, and what it will take to improve them. Ultimately, we want to make the right investments in our parks and trails to create highly attractive and usable open spaces. Parks that will attract people from across the peninsula to Millbrae. As we talk about making Millbrae a destination city, many people continue to bring up concerns of burglaries from out-of-towners. This is not something we take lightly and is the top priority of the Millbrae Police Bureau. As you've all heard, last week, a young man was stabbed outside of the Millbrae Library. I want to thank the quick responsiveness of the library staff for protecting the teen when he sought refuge, and the sheriff's deputies for quickly responding to the scene to apprehend the assailant. We wish the young man a speedy recovery. And we want to assure the community that the incident was of grave concern to myself, the City Council, and everyone in the city. I want to reassure everyone that Millbrae is a safe community. While incidents like these are not isolated to our community, we are vigilant in working with our schools, the Millbrae Police Bureau, our Recreation Department, the library, and staff at any place where children are hanging out to ensure that they can learn and play in safe environments. Over the past 12 months, the City Council and City Manager have diligently worked with the police chief to put more deputies on the streets, increase the visibility of the patrols, organize active neighborhood watch groups, and teach people how to protect their homes and neighborhoods. Recently, we launched the Video Surveillance Program. Through this program, residents and business owners can register their video surveillance systems with the Millbrae Police Bureau. If a crime occurs, investigators may contact people who operate registered video systems to request copies of videos that can help them solve the crime. This is a completely voluntary system, but it is one tool that we know has been extremely effective in other communities. By providing the intelligence and evidence investigators need to put criminals behind bars. Good intelligence is more than a crime-fighting tool. This past year, we set up the systems and equipment to deploy the Millbrae Emergency Operations Center in times of disaster and emergency. This new EOC, located right here in the Chakotay room, will be staffed by members of the Millbrae Police Bureau, Central County Fire, and Millbrae CERT volunteers. The purpose of the EOC is to rapidly deploy a temporary emergency response command and communications post to coordinate emergency and disaster response resources from a central location. Recently, the EOC was used to coordinate and deploy 41 trained emergency response volunteers during Silver Dragon 11. This one-day exercise created a simulated outbreak of the Zika virus in Millbrae. CERT volunteers went out to vulnerable neighborhoods to distribute Zika information packets and to look for standing or flooding water. The EOC and Silver Dragon are just two examples of many of how we are preparing to successfully respond when the time is most critical. But it's not just for times of disaster. The EOC and CERT volunteers are deployed for events like the Art and Wine Festival to provide high-level and on-ground situational awareness, and to help coordinate minor and major emergency response when needed. These are just a few examples of how we collectively in Millbrae and in the region successfully support one another. Millbrae is a thriving and successful city. We are successful because we have smart and dependable city staff, an ambitious and hardworking business community, and vocal residents who actively participate in civic affairs. We must not be complacent in this success. While we do have our challenges, it is through smart planning and preparation that we will overcome them. we must continue to prepare ourselves for the opportunities and challenges that lay ahead. When they come, we will be prepared, and we will stay the course of success and prosperity. Thank you for allowing me the honor and privilege of serving as your mayor. Thank you all for being active citizens and helping make Millbrae the great city that it is. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Holober. That was wonderful information and a great presentation, and I think we all would agree that Millbrae is a wonderful place to live. We appreciate your service to the community and your dedication. And the Chamber will continue working with the city. We're going to make sure that the economy and the businesses stay strong in Millbrae and that the quality of life through community events also remains strong. Before we adjourn, some thanks are due tonight. My executive assistant at the Chamber of Commerce worked very hard to help put this event together. Genevieve Deep. Thank you, Genevieve. She's in the back there, pink jacket. And Ava Chen of Mills High School. Thank you, Ava. Our event sponsors, Consul General of Malta, Louis Vela, Magnolia of Millbrae, South San Francisco Scavenger Company, Starbucks of Millbrae, and Trader Joe's of Millbrae Square. I'd like to thank Millbrae Community Television for taping tonight's event, which you can also watch at mctv.tv online. And in Millbrae, we know each other and we help each other. It's who we are. Thank you and good night.